Yo, check it. Check. This is Dark. We're gonna do a boss guide for all the Citadel bosses now since it was suggested by one of the homies in the comments of my last video. Appreciate the suggestion. So once your Citadels start actually spawning on your Atlas, what I do is I use level 1 or just low waystones, low level maps, and I just, beeline it to the Citadels I see if I'm going strictly just for Citadels and not wasting time, because the maps are humongous. They take forever to do anyways. So level 1 waystones, beeline it to the maps if you just want the fragments to get to the pinnacle boss to kill all those dudes. And once you're able to enter the Citadel maps, make sure your maps that you're using are what you actually want, because you don't want to do something where, the boss is extremely buffed up. But to get more bang for your buck, you actually want to use juiced up maps, and you want to get your waystone percentage up as well as how many suffixes you're using, because that will increase your chances to get multiple fragments to drop. You get sometimes 2 if you're running 3 suffixes, and you have a decently high waystone percentage, but to get a chance for 3 fragments, you want to corrupt your maps with 6 modifiers on it, so those can possibly give you 6 suffixes. Use that 6 suffix map, and I believe the waystone percentage, if it's 500% or above, there's a chance for 3 fragments to drop, and then you can increase that even more, I think up, over 1,000% by using your Atlas map tree right here. Increase the implicit modifiers on your waystones. And waystone maps can only be level 15 or higher. Anything lower will not work. And I also did confirm the Citadels, when they're in the Fog of War, they are color-coded. So the blue beam is going to be the Iron Citadel, the red beam is the Stone Citadel, and the orange beam is the Copper Citadel. To see all the boss mechanics, I use the footage from the campaign because they die too fast in the end game for me now, and Citadels take a little longer to actually find and get footage of, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get into the bosses. I'm a little hyped right now. Just got off of work. Like and subscribe if this helps you. Let's do it. The first Citadel we're covering is going to be the Iron Citadel with the Count Genor dude, who's in the Act 1 as well. So here in Phase 1, when he's a human, he's got his typical melee attacks that he'll be swinging at you throughout the whole fight. And then he has these attacks where he'll glow red. The first one is going to be like Frostbolt Lunge. He's going to like cock back, shoot the bolts of frost at you. And then his other one's going to be, after he glows red, he'll charge at you. After he charges at you and either hits you or the wall, he always does this like 180 like sweep attack with the sword, so make sure you're not standing behind him immediately after his charge. And then he will turn into a werewolf in Phase 1 as well. When he does this, he can possibly summon ads. He can disappear and like go into the sky and like land on top of you. It will be indicated by a red circle, so you want to make sure you're out of that circle as quick as possible. And then he can summon these like blood balls that he'll like lunge through. When he lunges through them, they're going to shoot out from where he ran into them, and they're going to explode, so make sure you're not getting hit by those. And then last but not least, in Phase 1, he has this like prison attack where he like swipes his sword a couple times, and it's going to make some like frost walls. If you get trapped in that, he's going to just blast you with a heavy attack, so make sure you're breaking out of those ice walls. Alright, when you give him around 50% health, he's going to turn into a bigger, crazier wolf, the Putrid Wolf, and that's going to begin Phase 2. And in Phase 2, he'll have this ability where he's going to howl. There's going to be some mist that circles around the outside of the arena. You have to be in the middle of the arena during this. He's going to disappear. He's going to start summoning some ads. You have to deal with those ads, and at the same time, he's going to be talking shit in the background after each voice line he has, like a half second after each one. He's going to dash towards you, so where you're getting blasted by the ads, he's going to be flying in and trying to take you out as well, so make sure you are dodging that after he is done with his voice cues. In Phase 2 comes some new frost abilities as well. He's got this frontal volley. That's just kind of a straight line where he just jabs a bunch of icicles in your face. Make sure you're getting out of the way of that. He'll lift his sword straight in the air and he'll be stationary, but at the same time, he's going to be summoning beams of ice that will be shooting down all over the arena. And then he has this huge ice nova that's indicated when he slams his sword into the ground. You're going to start seeing a bunch of ice patches. And when he explodes the ice nova, these patches are going to turn into ice spikes, and you don't want to be standing on them to avoid all the damage. And at the very end of the fight, when you got him on low health and he's feeling desperate, he's going to be spawning all these blood spikes consistently throughout the fight until you're dead or he's dead. Alright, the Copper Citadel boss, Jamara. So for his auto attack abilities, he'll either just flick some lightning at you if you're up close to him, but if you're too far away, he'll throw one of the pillars at you, and that does a lot more damage than the little lightning sparks, especially if you have decent lightning res at this point. Throughout the fight, he's going to be using his pillars a lot. In the first phase, he'll have the ability where he shoots them both in front of him, and they're both going to slam down doing AoE. Avoid this by just going behind the boss and just set up and start casting behind him. For one of his other pillar abilities, he's going to be shooting the pillars in front of him again, but this time he's going to shoot lightning bolts at the pillars and fanning those bolts to the sides of him. So again, you want to just get behind the boss and blast him. During phase 1, there's going to be a little intermission where the boss is going to summon a sandstorm. During this, your NPC ally is going to be making a shield. You want to go under that shield, otherwise you will get killed by the sandstorm. And during this phase, there'll be ads spawning, so blast AoE the ads. Don't stand in the sandstorm, otherwise you'll die. In phase 1, the pillars also have a couple abilities where they kind of do their own thing. The first one here is he'll let them loose and they're just going to like spin around the arena with a lightning bolt in between them, and one of them will always have a lightning bolt blocking the outside lane, so you always want to get to the side where it's open and there's no lightning. For the other ability, the pillars are going to be going on their own again, but moving a lot faster, and this one you want to just continuously be dodging unless you're super fast and you just outrun them. Alright, when you get the boss to about 2/3 of his health, he's going to pull out a big ass sword and break the train and freaking start phase 2. The only thing this boss keeps in phase 2 is his auto attack with the little lightning flick. Other than that, everything is brand new, like these tornadoes he's going to spawn. You don't want to stand in those because you'll be taking a lot of damage. And then he'll have a bunch of weapons he's going to be using, like a sword he'll be pulling out. He'll be doing an overhead slam on the ground. It's going to do a line frontal, so make sure you're dodging that. And then he'll pull out a two-handed axe that he'll do a sweep when he pulls that out. And then for dual wielding, he'll pull out some dual wielding weapons and he'll throw those on the ground. They're going to make a little pillar that are going to have lightning walls that you don't want to pass through. When he gets to about 1/3 health, it's going to get a lot more crazy because he's going to be casting a lot more spells, like the little lightning balls he's going to be summoning. They're going to shoot out the way he's facing, so you either got to be in the middle of those or just be on the side where they're not going. He's going to start chucking pillars at you again from range if you're too far away from his melee attack. And he'll also do a volley of shards that he'll shoot a crap ton of shards at you, and then at the same time, lightning shards are going to be shooting down from the sky on top of you. And then if that was enough, he'll eventually be summoning portals from each end of the arena that will be shooting shards consistently for a pretty long time. And he'll be able to summon 2 portals at one time eventually, so you want to really be cognizant of your position against this guy, especially as the fight gets later and later. You don't want to trap yourself with all the tornadoes and stuff. Remember, you can dodge roll through the shards, but they do a crap ton of damage if you're there too long. This guy has a lot of mechanics, especially in the second phase. Just make sure you're keeping your head on a swivel and not running into other mechanics while you're avoiding all the other crazy shit that's going on. Good luck, and hopefully you got it done. Doriani, the Stone Citadel boss. Nah, this guy's not too crazy, you know. He's got some grenades he's going to chuck out on the floor. He's going to do an AoE where he slams his gauntlets. It's going to be like lightning and fire. He's got some fire sprays he'll do at you. He also has this beam attack where he's going to shoot out some shards. He's going to shoot at those shards, and it's going to like spray the beam when he hits the shards. Just make sure you're not in front of those shards. And then he's going to also shoot, you know, fireballs. He's going to have this mechanism come up from the middle arena that's going to shoot laser beams out of it. So during all these mechanics, you want to dodge these laser beams. And then you'll have this charged up like fire slam attack where he lifts his fist up and he's going to slam the ground, and you got plenty of time to get out of it. He also has these fire orbs he's going to like kind of place in a spot. They're just going to like chill there and explode eventually. Just don't stand on top of those. And then he has these mines he's going to summon. They're going to like plant themselves in the ground. You could get close to these to activate them. Once you activate them, they're going to like shoot lightning all over the place. But when you activate them, they'll also disappear eventually. So you get rid of them. He's got the Sith Lord lightning ability. He's going to shoot a lightning bolt at you and continuously chase you with it. Doesn't do too much damage. Just make sure you're not getting hit by the other AoE stuff at the same time. And then when you get the boss to 50% health, he's going to actually go into phase 2. He's going to summon this big mech that he's going to hop in. This mech's going to do a bunch of like fire beams from his firearm and like ice beams from the ice arm. Just when he's shooting those, try to get behind the boss so you don't have to deal with them at all. And he's got his same like AoE slam where he slams his fist together and it's the lightning and like fire AoE, Nova. He also has a slam where he grabs his head with his arms and he's going to do a slam right where his head is. Again, just be behind the boss so you don't have to worry about it. And he'll still do that fire charge AoE attack, so make sure you're running out of that. And he's got the mechanic where he's going to shoot laser beams out of his butt and he's going to turn it clockwise in a circle. So make sure you're rolling out of that, or if you're on his left side, then you just have to move slightly to the right so you just completely avoid it. A little later on during the fight, he's going to detach a laser gun from his back that's going to fly around. It's going to aim at you, target you, and it's going to get brighter and redder and shoot at you. So make sure you're dodging that at the same time you're dodging everything else. For his next ability, he's going to actually do a little nova around him. So get out of the little circle that's around him because he's going to explode. Once he explodes, he's going to transform a little bit, fly in the air, and he's going to chase you. And there's going to be a circle you're in. You want to get out of that circle before he slams down, or you're going to take heavy damage like I did right here. And this is how you actually dodge that slam attack right here. As the fight gets later, even more crazy stuff happens. You'll have this beam of fire that's going to just shoot down and disrupt your positioning in the fight. And the last thing he does when he's super low on life, he's gonna spawn a cloud of like lightning around him, and you have a little circle that's right by the boss that you have to stay in. If you go out of it, you're gonna take heavy damage and possibly die. So make sure you're in that circle with him, and from then on out, it's basically just you or him. All right, if you got to this point, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if it helped you. If it didn't help you, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Whatever, dude. We'll see you next time. Peace.